Oh, well, excuse me. Um, I don't know. I'm still thinking. I realize that I'm really bad at like naming things though. So I don't.
Don't rub that on me though.
I know. I've just always struggled with just like saying like, yeah, let's go forward with naming this. Only thing I've been confident in naming is Terrence. That's about it. And naming my cars. But even then, I've like been like, maybe I'll change
Are you
it.
nervous about naming your children? How you feeling about that?
Kind of.
Kind of. Have y'all talked about names? You and
We
Tasha?
have. Yeah, we have. I think, I mean, we're on the same page on a couple names, so that gives me some peace. But I think when it comes time to actually like put it on a document, I'm gonna be like, this
But
is,
can we do better after she
yeah,
didn't just
like feels so
36
permanent.
hours of labor and then
Yeah. So I don't know.
what's the names if you don't mind or if you feel like sharing? You don't have to share.
Uh, for a boy, we've been thinking Cole.
Oh, that's my middle. You naming them after me?
Not after
Oh,
you. It has
oh,
nothing to do with you.
oh, oh my
Just a,
goodness.
we just like that name.
Oh,
Um,
oh, oh.
and then for a girl, Constantine.
Really?
No, what?
I was like, oh.
I don't remember what we came up with for a girl,
Mm.
but I had been thinking about Cole for years before she was even in the
Oh,
picture.
because of me. Oh,
It has nothing to do with you. Like when I
oh,
came up with it, I don't even know if I knew your middle
oh,
name was Cole. I don't remember when I
oh,
thought of that name.
oh.
It's
I can hear
probably
myself in your video, in your audio, by the way.
it's probably from Martin.
Oh,
You said you can hear yourself?
yeah.
Oh, then I need to put these on.
Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna be honored, bro. You want me to be the godfather too? That's cool.
Um, I heard Godfather, so I'm assuming you were asking, are you going to be the Godfather?
I mean, I might as well you naming them after me.
No,
I
I'm
might as
not.
well be.
I'm not naming him after you, and you probably won't be the Godfather either. So just
I'm
saying.
cool with that. I don't want to be nobody's godparent.
once
Anybody
I
else wants to?
once I learned what that is, I was like, oh, that's not fun. Like I don't. That
No.
that sounds rough. Especially when it's like normally I don't know anybody who's actually like their parents, something's happened to them and they actually like went to live with their godparents. They just go with their
Nobody ever.
family.
They go with their grandma.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't that just seems like a hard thing to
I don't even know who my
especially
grandparents are. My godparents. I'm sorry.
um so apparently I had like me and Brandy have godparents, so we've like called them aunt and uncle our whole life. Um and then recently my mom told me, "Oh, those aren't your godparents." I'm like, "So why did y'all tell us that those were our godparents?" And we are just like, "Oh, I did?" And I'm like, "What? So who are they to me? They're just nobody now? I just gotta go back to they're just blah blah."
Mm.
They might watch this show, I don't know.
Friends of the show. Got your godparents.
They don't know anything I do.
uh,
Alright, let me kill them with this real quick.
oh, okay.
Boom, mm, 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 mm. 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 Mm, mm,
I don't
mm.
know.
I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got a lot
That's
of people
not
trying to
it.
hear my energy, trying to dump it way from
That's not it. That's not it. That was not it.
It's spot
That was
on.
not it. No, it wasn't. I was like, Is this all? What's funny is I was like, is this a Rough Rider song? I thought it was like an old DMX song.
Nah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
it
terrible.
was definitely Drake energy.
Mm. Mm.
After you just tell me who you gonna do. Can we do anything harder? It's obviously
Who?
Rough Riders anthem, DMX.
Nah, it's Snoop Dogg. No, I'm playing. Yeah, that's who that was. I'll do okay. I'll do another a harder one.
Nah, wait. I want to hear you do energy since mine is so bad.
Boom, 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 boom.
I'm not really hearing a difference. Maybe when I go back and
My
like,
drums are faster. Your drums is a different feel. Drums create the feel of a song.
I didn't really
Your
do the
drums was more.
drums though. I just
You
did the
did. They was
bass.
real boom bappy. That's what was
I
throwing
just
me
yeah, I
off.
just did the bass, like the kick.
Drums ain't boom backy. It's real like it's almost the drums are like a bounce, New Orleans bounce type of drum.
Okay.
You did more of a like a New York boom bap hip hop type of drum. Just saying.
So you said I did Public Enemy.
These more Manny Fresh. These drums are more.
He's not even New York. What?
I said bounce. I said a New Orleans bounce. He's New
Oh, I
Orleans
thought you
bounce.
said New York bounce.
No. I said New Orleans.
Okay. Then I take back Public Enemy. That's a good one there. I'm gonna have to remember that for next week. I know what I'm gonna do next week.
Oh,
You're not
okay.
gonna get
All
it.
right. Uh-oh.
Wait, you are
Okay.
gonna get it. I feel like sometimes I miss the point of this game. It's for the other person to get it.
Yeah, it is. It is. Even though in my mind I'd be trying to stump you, I think when I go into it. I'd probably stump you either way if I was trying anyway.
I
Just
mean,
the
but I
way it's saying.
also I don't want to choose something like super easy. Like I want to challenge the both of us
And the listener.
and the listeners.
You definitely challenging them.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Yeah. All 12 of them. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming and joining us on yet another episode of what is it? Don't tell your daddy don't want me to tell you this.
Your daddy ain't gonna tell you this. Yeah. Your daddy ain't gonna tell you this.
We still got to figure out, like, we have to be able to like hyphenate that or something.
I was thinking of hyphenations over the break. And I was like, it was like your daddy, but that's a weird like shorthand. The Your Daddy podcast.
So, do you think that still fits in with like all the other stuff that we were talking about with like this being about dreams and being dreamers, pursuing
Well, I was
dreams and all
I
that
was
stuff?
think talking. That was me just writing stuff out. I think from the way the episodes have gone, this is definitely a comedic podcast. This is definitely a storytelling podcast, and I kind of want to stay in that lane. I like where the lane we are, like with it. I don't want to get too like motivational speechy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can do it. Maybe you can't.
Nah, that's real though. Like I mean, I wasn't saying that I wanted it because I know from the beginning when you were bringing up topics and stuff, and I'm just like, why you trying to go so heavy? Like I want this to be
Yeah,
lighter, and I still saw that as being the case, even going into dreaming, but kind of like I don't know. Maybe it should just be about telling stories of, I don't know, how we're doing on our journeys of being dreamers and like the ups and downs of that, what that looks like, but from a comedic perspective, not like, man, today sucked. But some of like we might have those days though too.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. But I also like telling older stories that just have nothing to do with anything. Like
Right.
you said, this like the Seinfeld, the show about
Uh-huh.
nothing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Have you ever watched Seinfeld? Like, did you ever get into that?
Nah, my uncle liked it though. I remember seeing it like on, but I never got into it. And as an adult, I've seen like I've seen like scenes of it and everything like that. I kind of get like I get the gist of it, but I never really got into it. Didn't grab me all like that though.
Yeah.
I do like Curb though. Every episode of Curb I've ever seen is like super hilarious, like gut bust. Like Seinfeld wasn't like I didn't really laugh that hard at Seinfeld,
Right.
but his Seinfeld stand up is great though. Like I actually like his stand up, but the show I
Uh,
didn't. You know, I could take it or leave it. But Curb Your Enthusiasm though was
so
amazing.
Curb is one of those shows that like I didn't know about because I think it's been on for a long time. I don't.
Years.
It's
I
not
remember
on
as a kid
anymore.
seeing it. No,
Yeah.
it just came back.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, they brought
Okay.
it back. Like it's got new seasons. But yeah, I remember seeing it as a kid though, like the name, but I didn't know what it was
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but like it was probably like high school or something. I remember just like flipping through was on HBO, and I'm just watching it, but it like seemed serious, and I was just like, "What is this?" But then there was like silly stuff happening, and I'm like, "I don't understand this show," so I just
Yeah.
gave up on it. I just didn't even continue to try to watch it. Um, but it is on my list of shows that I do want to watch because I just hear
Yeah.
so much about it.
Yeah. Who barking? You got somebody there? You about to get
That
robbed, bro.
that's our neighbor. That's Ace.
Oh.
That's
Mace?
Ace.
Ace. Oh, I thought
That's,
his name was
that's Terrence's
Ace.
best
Shut
friend.
up, Ace. That's Terrence. Oh, they friends. They dope.
Mm-hmm.
They tight. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they play together.
Oh, that's precious.
Um,
That's precious. Y'all have little
can't
play dates for
legit. We did over the summer.
them.
That's how they met. Like we would talk to the neighbor and be like, "Hey, like, can you meet up at this time or whatever?" But we were legit doing that, and they became best friends. Like we were nervous at first because he's a pit cane corso mix,
Mm.
and they got along great. They still so like we can't leave them alone too long because they'll just like run off together. And they've done it before. They just like ran in the backyard and just ran down the alley and just frolicking with each other. I'm like, what are y'all
And was it one of those
doing?
things where where you try to chase them and they keep running, like think y'all playing?
Well, he does
Uh,
that. Ace does. Terrence
uh,
doesn't do that. But
okay.
Terrence being with him, Terrence is just running alongside him because then they're just like playing chicken with each other. So when one starts
Yeah.
running faster, the other one runs faster with him, and they just like
Um,
looking at each other, just running, just like dude. So yeah, but
you get your behind here. You get your precious.
but
Precious.
oh my gosh, Ricky Smiley, it's
That's
ridiculous.
one of the best bits ever. Like precious. You get some.
And what you asked for it for? And what you asked for it for? He's an idiot.
Oh man, that's silly.
No, but so I do want to close the window just because he loud, but I'm gonna be hot, and then I'm gonna have to take
Nobody
this
told you to
off,
wear that.
and I don't want to take
Nobody,
this off.
nobody told you to wear that though in the first place.
But I need to though.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Okay.
super comfortable. You need to get
Yeah.
one.
Send me one. I'll cash app you and give me one
Well,
and
they
I'll
don't
mail
sell
it.
them at Costco anymore. I got this last year,
Oh dang!
so they don't even sell them
I'm at the
anymore.
Amazon it then.
They way more expensive on Amazon. Cause I first saw one, I bought one for Tasha, like before I got mine, and hers was like $40, $50 or something like that, and this one was like 25 at Costco.
Mm. And they don't sell them no more. How y'all
Not
gonna
at
just not
Costco,
sell?
but I
Oh.
mean they still sell them online. They're just way more expensive.
Mm.
But you can get more variety online. But this is the
Oh.
original, the
Mm.
comfy out here.
Mm. Mm. Veloured up.
Yeah.
I'm about to velour niggas to death this winter.
You rocking velour suits? You bringing it back?
Oh, I already got 2 upstairs. I
For
just
real?
came in from Old Navy. Yes. Yes. I'm about to velour you niggas to death this winter. It's more where that's coming from. I cannot wait.
You
When I
got
saw they was back in, I was like, oh, the velour back in style? Oh, it's a wrap.
I didn't know it
It's
was
a wrap.
back. I thought you were
Yeah,
just
it's
starting
back.
it.
No,
Dang.
it's back on the low. I don't think everybody doing it yet, but it's back. They selling it on the site. So I'm like, oh, it's on.
That's
It's
amazing.
on.
Velour
Yeah.
is so hot. But like
It's
niggas was
perfect for
wearing
winter
that
time.
midsummer, like July, August, full velour suits. I'm like, dude.
I had an eyes eye one and cats was clowning me. They was like, what's eyes eye? I was like, man, whatever.
Wait. Oh my gosh, I was just telling Tasha about this. When like platinum FUBU was
Yeah.
popular and like
Yeah.
jean jackets,
Yeah.
everything was
Jean
like
fits. Oh man.
super like pristine, crisp.
Yeah.
Couldn't bend your arm. And
No.
so when that was popular, my dad, he bought me one, but it was from like this store. I don't know where he got it. We think it's from
The
this
gas
place called
station.
Henry's. Nah, it's this place in Dayton called Henry's.
Okay.
Um, and I don't even know what the equivalent would be, like where you grew
Mi-
up.
I'm thinking of Cleveland, like Mr. Allen's or what's the other one? It's just an urban store, like
Yeah,
basically, like
yeah.
yeah. I got
But
you. There's
it's
one.
like it's also where they sell
Yeah,
like
Rose
if
Beauty.
you want
Rose
to
Beauty
get
sold all the
huh?
and Warren. Rose Beauty sold all the. I just thought about it. Rose Beauty sold all the jean outfits in Warren.
Okay.
It's this Asian owned. It was a beauty supply store that sold jean outfits too. That's
Right.
where cats was getting there.
That's
Yeah.
funny. But this one, so like this was also the place where you would go and get your like nylon green suit and like
Yeah.
just Stacey Adams everything.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
so yeah, so it was for my birthday, had a party. My friend was over, my cousin was over, and he had me open this box, but it's not platinum FUBU, it's platinum Nova. And I'm like, what is this? So like my friend, he's like very understanding and he just be like, oh yeah, I mean, it's not so bad. And then Scott, he's just like, yo, this is terrible. Like your dad don't love you. Like why? But he'll always front in front of my parents and be like, oh yeah, that's tight for real. Like that's tight. He's gotten so many clothes for me through that. But like my mom asking him what he would think about it. And it's terrible. Like she made me get these all brown, like doo-doo brown New Balance back in the day when New Balance wasn't popular.
They was
And,
not. No.
and she was like, you gonna wear you gonna wear this. And then she bought all these brown shirts that match it. And I'm just like looking like a turd every day at high school.
Looking like you work at UPS.
Anyway, so Platinum Nova, and it's like this dude, I should look this up. It's this dude on the back of it, just like full back. It's just this dude standing there with his hands in his pockets and his lip out. Like, so we had this dance. It was like a school-wide or district-wide dance, and we go, I don't want to wear this, but dad makes me wear this. And I'm like,
Oh,
come on,
dang.
dude. Like, I can't. But Turan's just like, nah, it'll be all right. So then we get there, and some other dude has it on, but his is like a different color stitching. And he was like, "See,
Yeah.
it's not that bad." And I'm just like, "Okay, it's just one other dude whose parents don't love him." Like this, like that doesn't make this okay. So I wore it that day, and that was it, and it just sat in a drawer. Platinum Nova. Like,
Mm.
how do you have an off-brand? I guess Platinum Fubu was like the thing at some point.
No, it
It just
was.
feels weird that it was the thing at some point.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I love the jean outfit days. That was the era. That was the
I
era.
gotta.
My dad was good though for buying. He bought me that Isaiah velour suit.
Mm.
He was good for buying me some off brand something.
But that
Just did.
that's what it is. Like when you have old parents, they don't understand like
He
what.
wasn't old. He had me at 24. They weren't old. My dad was
Oh,
cheap.
he's younger than that. I
He
thought
was
he was
cheap.
older than that.
Nah, he's only 56. No, or no, why am I 55? He's 55. He'll be 56 next year. But
Dang.
yeah.
My parents are
Yeah.
68 this year.
Ooh. Man. Sorry, Janine. Hold on. She listening. My bad. I didn't
They are
mean that.
68. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. No,
But
my dad was just cheap. Mm-mm.
I mean, yeah, that's just as bad though. I know my kids are gonna go through that. One, I'm gonna be an older parent, and two, I'm cheap. So I'm like, I don't want to like mess with my kids in that way, but I just know it's gonna happen at some point.
Gonna be buying them shacks.
I wouldn't go that far. Like, I
You
might.
gonna buy them the shoes that like tie together, like that don't even come in the box. They come like on like the hanger. You ain't never
Oh,
remember those?
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Like at Walmart where they didn't even have a button.
No, man, I couldn't do that to my kids
Uh,
because it's
no.
like we've been thinking that they'll probably do public school at least for some portion. I just think it's important for kids to go through public school at some point because it like toughens you up in so many ways.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but the downside to that is you're gonna have to deal with people that care about what you wear, which is so ironic that like
Right. Cause
the
y'all all
rich
poor.
people, right? Rich people don't care. Like I was wearing my sister's boyfriend's hand-me-downs in middle school, and that's when I
And
was going to
nobody.
that public school. Like stuff super big. Like that's when I was wearing like 2X, 3X, and I wasn't nearly as tall as I am now. I was a little chunky then, but still, like I got pictures that I'm so embarrassed of. I was wearing jerseys with
It was
like,
at the white school though.
yeah.
It
So
was,
they
yeah,
were
they
just
ain't,
like,
yeah,
yeah, the token black kid, he completes our system. Like,
yeah.
I was wearing jerseys with white t-shirts under it. Like, like
You was dressing like a thug.
these pictures
You
are
look.
disgusting.
You dressing like a suspect.
Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
My fashion fell off when I moved to Colorado. So hard. So
Because it's just
hard.
like you don't care. Like it's
I just and they don't care. They know they wasn't about to be like, oh, you
no.
get on. They didn't care. So I just stopped. I really stopped caring. I
Right.
really had to catch up when I got back to OU. When I came to OU, I was like, oh, I gotta. I was looking around like I gotta get it together quick, real quick. I spent the first 2 months at OU stressing about what to wear at these parties, and just in general, like my closet was not prepared to be around all these black people. I was really stressing. Man.
I think that's why we never like hit up Andrew. He always talk about that infamous story where we met him on the first weekend and we were supposed to pick him up for the party, but we didn't go back and get him.
Oh, I don't remember that, but I'm sure it
What?
happened.
How do you
And,
forget? He says it every chance he gets.
he said, but even when he says it, I'm like, I don't remember. I probably was just
Oh
in there. I
no,
probably
so
was there, but I don't.
I legit do remember it though. Like we were all hanging out for most of the day. And
Yeah.
then we all left. We were like, all right, we about to go like change and get ready to go to this party. And we just never went to hit up Andrew again. because he was wearing like Banana Republic type stuff and like button down shirts and sweater vests. Like
But I ain't gonna lie though, Andrew, his fashion was ahead of his time
it
though, low key.
was.
He was really ahead of the curve, like on the low, like for real.
He was.
But yeah, at the time he probably wouldn't have like. It was like, oh, you wearing the sweater vest to this? Oh man, you sure? You sure? But yeah, nah. I was really concerned about the drip for his freshman year, cause Harvey, I saw Harvey everywhere. So I was like, oh, I gotta get on his.
His
Not
pants.
knowing, this is the other thing too. It's so crazy when you young, you think everybody just got money or something. These niggas was balling off refund checks. Like I thought these cats was rich. I was like, how you get like all this
Oh,
fancy
shit.
clothes? I'm like, oh nigga, these cats, this refund check down. I ain't hating. I'm just saying, like, I thought like, oh,
I
they
mean,
parents loved them.
no, that's how I lived. My day to day was off refund checks.
I didn't get a refund check till
I
my
was
fifth
just
year.
frugal, so I didn't like spend it all.
No, I didn't get a refund check till my fifth year
Mm,
at OU.
yeah,
I
that's
never was get one.
what kept me from not having to work while we were in
Mm.
school was refund checks.
Yeah, I should have had a job my freshman year, actually, in hindsight. I had one set up, but I never called the dude back. I forgot. And then it was school started, and my dad was so mad. He was so mad. And I was like, man, I want to focus on my books. That didn't happen either. I
I
was
was
just
about to
kicking
say,
it.
where'd that go?
That didn't happen either. But that's what I told myself.
Oh,
I was on
school.
probation that first semester. Woo! Quarter.
Were you?
Yeah, I was on academic probation after that first quarter.
Dang, I was on the dean's list the
1.9.
first quarter,
Dang.
and that was the only quarter I was on the dean's list.
Yeah, I only made it one. That was my sophomore year. I only made Dean's List one quarter. But I was proud, though. I felt so accomplished.
Right.
Wow. Look at my name right there.
My mom was all happy, and I was just like, oh, yeah. It's probably ain't gonna last, and it didn't.
Man, that messed you up, though. Going on academic probation, that does mess. It was a lot of stuff I couldn't, like, I didn't realize, like, one a quarter, that's when you pick your new dorm. And if you didn't have a certain GPA, you couldn't get in the nicer dorms. It was a lot. Even though I ended up living in Adams, which was like the nicest dorm at the time, but still.
That makes me
Yeah.
mad. Because I lived in Bryan, which was like supposed to be like the academic like hall, or what do you call it? Dorm. You just said it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even renovated. Like it was all old and busted.
Yeah. They just told y'all that because it wasn't close to no other dorms. It was just in the middle of nowhere. It's like, oh, you can focus here. You can really focus.
I mean, I liked it though. Like I had a single, and that was cool. But yeah, man, school. I wouldn't do it the same way ever again.
I would not. I would do it totally different. But it was a fun time. Good times. So speaking of school, what's your dessert of the week?
Dang.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving. What you have over? Let's talk about the Thanksgiving desserts.
It wasn't even nothing crazy. I kept it pretty simple, pretty chill.
Sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie, cheesecake. I made some strawberry topping from scratch, which was amazing. Apple pie, which actually I think I might. That's kind of another story, but I can't really eat the apple pie. Like we just froze it. We've only eaten like a quarter of it. I don't
What's
think I
wrong
can
with
eat
it?
it. I think I might be allergic to apples, but that's why
Really?
I'm saying that's a whole nother thing.
Oh, snap.
That's all tied in with like the colonoscopy, endoscopy stuff. Like I might,
Oh.
yeah. I just got a call from my doctor saying like what I have, and it could be related to an allergy. And I've noticed the last couple weeks, whenever I eat an apple, like my stomach is just tore up. So I'm like, dang. No, it's not like that. It just hurts. And it just feels like it takes all my energy. Like I'm just drained and I can't really do much. So I've noticed that even after eating apple pie, and I freaking love apple pie because there's nothing
Mm,
more American than that
mm,
besides racism
mm.
and segregation.
And
But
baseball.
and what
Yeah. And baseball.
in baseball?
Yeah.
um. So yeah, but yeah, that was it. Um, I think somebody brought a banana cream pie, which I'm not a fan of bananas, so I never even tried it.
Mm.
But that was it.
What was the reviews on your food and everything? Because you and Tasha held most of it down, right? Or did people bring it was more
Yeah,
people brought?
so people brought some stuff, but we did most of the cooking. Like we made the turkey, greens, mac and cheese, dressing. Um,
You put an egg in your mac and cheese?
absolutely.
You do? I'm kind of not a fan of that now. I had it both ways over Thanksgiving, and I don't think I like it with egg in it. It's too clunky after the egg, or it's that's a whole nother conversation. But I think I'm not a fan. I like the creamier, more. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Um, wait, so like it wasn't like gooey with the egg in it or something? Is that what you
No, it was
mean?
dry. The one batch of macaroni, not the one. I had a few. I had a lot of mac and cheese over the past like 6 days from a lot of places. But
Uh-huh.
there's one particular place I had one from where it was dry and clunky, and I was like, and I know they put egg in it because egg can sometimes, if it depends how you cook it, can make it real clumpy and like kind of solid and just
Mhm.
not like gooey and yeah. So I was like, I'm kind of off the egg, or you got to really do it right. But
Mm.
yeah.
Nah, Tasha did it really well. I
Mm,
don't know what recipe she found, but it was really good. Um,
mm,
I picked the cheeses because I'm like the sous chef, and she's just like the apprentice. She's learning, so I give
what?
her like the master plan, and then she'll execute. So
Mm,
she did a good job though. So I picked the
mm.
cheeses and like picked the different seasonings that she should use for things.
So I understand Kyle. So what basically Kyle is saying is that Tasha was doing most of the work, but then whenever Kyle didn't agree or something or had a little nitpick about something, he came in and nitpicked about what he didn't like and made her change it. That's basically what it sounds like happened.
That's not what happened.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Oh.
so I wasn't nitpicking because I've been like I know I can be a nitpicker, so I've been intentionally trying to give her her space whenever she is cooking, um, which has been going well. I think I don't know if she would answer the same way, but but it's just like I've just been cooking so much longer than her,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm,
I just know more ingredients and like I have the nose for things to be like you should use this and then like yeah like I can
mm,
just smell something and know like add this. So like
mm,
with the greens she had me come and taste them and they just didn't taste like anything and I'm like she was
mm,
like all right so I'm gonna add some more salt and pepper and I was just like nah, get the red pepper flakes and get some of that Cajun seasoning down there and replace that for the salt. You gonna be good. So I
or
put
get
my
a
foot
ham
in it,
hock.
10
Get a ham
toes.
hock.
So we didn't do a ham hock. I actually like made fun of her. I was like, "How you gonna make greens without a ham hock?" And but she used bacon, and it was
Okay.
funny. Her trying to find recipes. She was like looking up stuff on how to like clean greens and all that stuff on YouTube. And I was like, "So what made you pick this video over another one?" Because the music was so trash. I don't know why they put music on it. And I was like, "You can't find a different video?" And I was like, "Oh, I see." Because all you could see was the lady's hands, and like she had the fattest wrist. And I was like, "That's why you picked this video, didn't you?" And then she started laughing. She was like, "Yeah." She had some thick hands, and I was like, "Them green cooking hands." I know. She probably got a chitlin video on here too.
Oh man, I was over one of my aunties. She made chitlins, and I was like, I thought we had that had ended with my grandma.
I was gonna ask, does your family ever make chitlins? And do
No,
you
my
eat
grandma made
chitlins?
it. No, but only my grandma ate them, and now apparently my aunt. I didn't know. I didn't even know my aunt ate chitlins, honestly, until I
Mm.
got there, and I smelled that familiar smell.
Uh, it's the worst.
Mm-mm. Did anybody in your family eat them?
No, thank God.
Mm, mm.
We've been up north long enough. We didn't need.
My grandma was first generation, so she hadn't been up here long enough to.
No, my grandma was too, but I can't recall her ever making chitlins. I'll say that.
And pig feet too. My grandma made pig feet.
Okay, my grandma did do pig feet. And my
Yeah.
grandma ate a lot of, like, she would go to the store and buy cow brain and fry it up and eat that. And
Oh.
she ate all kind of stuff,
Mm.
but just fed me ramen.
But it
Nah,
was tongue tied. Rave reviews though on the food. Did everybody
yeah,
like it?
yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah. They said everything was good. Oh, her
Mm.
mom was tripping on the mac and cheese at first, but I think
Why?
she said it was dry. But then,
Oh.
um, we're like, "What? Dry?" Like, she's the only one that said something about that. So then we, like, packed her up some food and, like, put a whole bunch of mac and cheese in it, and then she got
Out
home.
of spite.
No, just cause like, it's her and um my brother-in-law that they
Right.
live
Okay.
together. So
Yeah.
he eat a lot. So I'm like, he'll eat whatever. So,
Mm.
but then she got more and warmed it up because it wasn't like hot, hot by the time we
Mm.
ate it because the turkey was the last thing that was in, and that took like 3 hours.
Mm.
Um, so I guess because it wasn't hot enough, so it wasn't gooey. And then she got home and was just like, "Yo, this is good." Even her like man was just like, "Yo, whoever made this, they put their foot in this or something."
Mm.
And I'm just like,
Mm.
"Yeah, I mean, because I picked the cheeses. That's why. That's the difference."
I saw a tweet that said like really macaroni and cheese is the star of Thanksgiving. Like if that's good, I'm not gonna complain too much about anything else. The turkey can be dry as all get out, but if
Hmm.
that mac and cheese is good, I'm overlook the turkey. I
I
don't even like
agree.
turkey.
I
I would
agree.
rather have ham anyway. But yeah,
I
mac and
completely
cheese is like
agree.
it's the star of the
Especially
show.
with like turkey, even when it's dry, you can just let it sop up the green juices.
Yeah, you can mix it in with other
Hmm.
stuff, and yeah, for sure.
But
I had some good food too, though. I told you I was house hopping, so everybody. I just love I come from a family that can cook. You know what I
hmm
mean? Everybody in my family can throw down. So every house I went to, I was, oh, you want me to have a plate? I was being modest. Oh, I'm good. All right, I'll help myself to something. Yeah, let me take something. Yeah, so it was a nice.
are there people that come from families who can't cook?
You maybe probably.
I've just never heard of anybody ever saying that. Just being
Well,
like,
they might be used to it though, so they wouldn't think of it as they can't cook. You know what I mean? Does
huh.
that make sense? Like you used to
Yeah,
certain cookie, you don't know no better.
but still, I just feel like there has to be the other end of the spectrum. Like, just everybody in the family is just terrible. And they got to go to Boston Market every year for Thanksgiving.
Get some Stouffer stuff and eat that up. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad I'm not in that family. I was thankful for that this year. Mm,
Mm, that's good
mm,
that you're thankful.
mm,
Amen.
thankful.
All right. Um, I've been waiting for you to ask me what cheeses because I keep mentioning I picked the cheeses. The
You
cheeses that
did
I
say it,
picked.
and I was just like, all right, so what? These cheeses.
Because I keep wanting
Was
you
it
to
good or
ask me
not?
what cheese.
It was it good or not? Like it's all getting melted together. Like what cheeses? All right.
But the cheese is important. People, I feel like most black people don't
No,
think
you got
that
to use like 3 different
they
cheeses. You
don't think
should.
that the cheese is important.
No, it is. It is.
Or just like branching out. I feel like I don't know, when you were saying that I'm a foodie, I honestly don't think I'm a foodie because I know foodies, and I'm just like, I don't hold a torch to the things that they try. But I think for Black people, I'm a foodie because we don't try a lot of stuff. We don't branch out
Yeah,
that much.
yeah.
Um,
Although I tend to I keep attracting women that are like foodies, and I don't, my picky self is like, girl, I don't want it. Just leave me alone.
Next time you
Leave me
come here,
alone.
I'm gonna take you to get Indian food.
I love Indian food actually.
All
I
right,
actually like Indian food. You probably
dang.
wouldn't. Yeah, I'll find some on Indian. I love Indian food's great. Yeah,
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna take you to get Cambodian food then.
Okay. All right.
I
That's
don't,
different. That's exotic.
I don't even know any Cambodian restaurants, but
Mm.
um, so sharp cheddar is the base,
Mm.
and then fresh mozzarella, like the stuff that's
Mm.
still wet,
Mm.
because mozzarella comes wet, guys. You should know that.
Mm. Mm.
And my favorite cheese is smoked Gouda.
Smoked Gouda. Okay.
That's what
Mm.
that's what makes it pop. It's the smoked Gouda.
Mm. Okay.
But
I'm
next
assuming this
time,
is a more spicier cheese. Not necessarily spicier, but kind of more smoke. Well, it's a smoky. It's a little.
it's in the name. So yes,
Okay. Okay.
it's smoked.
Okay. Got you. Mm.
Nah, I'll put Gouda on cheeseburgers and stuff. Like it's so good. Gouda is like
Mm.
one of the best cheeses.
Mm.
But I'm about to start branching out more. I don't I've realized that I need to eat different foods way more than I do. That's why I started doing HelloFresh. But they don't actually be sending you like a lot of different stuff. It's kind of
Friend
like
of the show. Hello, Fresh.
all right, that would have been a great transition if we actually had
Yeah.
sponsors.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they don't send me as much stuff as I thought they would. It's basically just like pork tacos, cheeseburgers, and some chicken dish. Like it's
I thought for some reason hearing Hello Fresh, I've heard of people do it, but I always thought it was like fresh. Like I know it's fresh, but I always thought it was like more vegetable, more green, plant based stuff than like what you're describing.
nah. They do have
Uh.
other ones that are like that. I forget what
Mm-hmm.
there is one that is more vegetarian. But you can still choose vegetarian options. Like you can change like no
Mm.
pork, no meat, pescatarian, stuff like that. But
Yeah. Mm.
HelloFresh bought this other company that does focus more on like vegetables and fruits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we
Yeah.
we're so behind on those boxes though. We got like 3 boxes that we
But
haven't opened.
they don't go. Do they expire? Does it go
Mhm.
bad? Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
oh,
it's like fresh food. Like it's fresh
yeah.
produce and
Uh.
like I just had to throw away one of the vegetables because it was going bad. I'm like, we
Mm.
gotta cook this stuff. And I forgot to cancel the box for Thanksgiving. So now we got
Mm.
like all these boxes that we're
Damn.
just behind on. It's a nightmare having so much food. Ugh,
Such a first world problem.
I know, man.
Our listeners in Cambodia are just like, oh, wow.
I just wish I had less food, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
What am I gonna do with all this? Just throw it
Right,
away.
right, right. Hmm. Such a pickle. Such a pickle.
All right. So how was traveling for Thanksgiving?
Uh, Traveling. It was interesting. I definitely did a world tour of Ohio. I never want to go see that state again. Um, I did. I was in every major. I was in Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati
This is your
throughout.
bottle, by the way. I've been using it for years.
I want an apology. That's theft thievery.
It's not.
That's crazy. I forgot all about that bottle.
I, you pretty much
You
said I
didn't
could.
earn that. I
You
earned
pretty
that
much
bottle.
said I could have it. That's why I
You
have
know
it.
what I did for all that? The bottle.
It's the High Peak Camp of Salvation Army.
You know what
You
I did.
you climbed a mountain. Big
A lot of
whoop.
times.
Big whoop.
multiple times weekly. A 6 hour hike actually, because it was 3 hours up and three, well, 2.5, so 5.5, whatever.
Mhm.
It was a hike.
Mhm.
Okay, intense. I don't. Anyway, my Thanksgiving. Um, no, it was good though. It was really good. It was nice. I hadn't been back to Ohio since well, particularly Warren. I hadn't been back there since last year, pretty much. So it's cool to be back, see my fam. But yeah, like I said, I was all over the state. Like I was so tired. Like yesterday when I got back here, I was so tired. Cause over this past weekend, I was in. I went to Cincinnati. Then I came back up to Columbus for a day and saw my fam in Columbus, and then came back up to Warren. Spent 2 more days in Warren and flew out early. My flight was early in the morning, like 6 a.m. in the morning. Had to drive all the way to the airport from Warren to Cleveland. It's just a lot of driving. But it was cool though. It was cool to see everybody. The food was great. Thanksgiving food was good. I was in my feelings Monday night, and I was like looking through like all these old pictures of my fam, and I was posting like all my like random pictures of my fam on my stories, cause I was just like, man, I'm like grateful for my family, and everything. I was just really
Oh.
grateful. I was just having like a little moment. But yeah, I was just like, man, it's cool to like over the years who you're related to. But on Saturday I was over my aunt. Oh, Sunday. This is Sunday morning actually, because I stayed the night over my uncle and my aunts in Columbus. And so Sunday morning I was leaving out, but my aunt, she a little talkative, which is fine. But we was having like a good conversation because I had to go. I actually was trying to be back and warm by a certain time. But me and her was having this real good in depth talk about like, cause she was asking me, she always asking me when I'm gonna settle down and like get married and all this stuff, and I'd be like, girl, when me and Ashanti's finally settle down, you'll know, you will know, you will know.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so I was like trying to tell her to chill out on that. But no, she was dropping real, cause she been married. Her and my uncle been married 32 years.
Mm.
Um,
This is a long time. I don't even see them as being that old. That's why it was kinda
Yeah,
more
they are. They do have a
surprising.
youthful spirit, but they're older. Well,
Okay.
getting older. They're in their late 50s. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Or no, not late. Well, yeah. No, my uncle's 57. No, he'll be 56 later this month. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So they're mid 50s. But yeah, she was just giving me like all this game about marriage and like what it's really about, and she really reminded me, like, I think of sometimes, like, in terms of dating and like all that. I think sometimes I really have a very superficial mindset mentality when I'm going about it sometimes. Um, and she really gave me like good perspective on like what I should really be thinking about. And I think, because I think there's a right now, I think my issue is like it's something called the paradox of options, where it's like you
Mm.
feel like you have like it's like social media. You see all these different people. You just feel like people just feel easily disposable nowadays because you can find the next person you want to talk to on Instagram or whatever the case may be. So it's like
Mhm.
I think that for me that kind of decreases the level of urgency I feel with dating, and it also kind of makes me not sometimes take things for granted that might actually be good for me, or like because I'm not thinking through the right lens. I'm just kind of thinking like, oh well, I mean, if this phase is out, I can just replace it with something else. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But she really like was like imparting upon me, like impressing upon me, like the real value of marriage and what it's really about, and like what I should be thinking about, what I should be looking for, and all that type of stuff. And it like really stuck with me. I was like, oh, this was worth like sticking around for it, because she was like dropping a lot of wisdom in terms of like dating and what I should be thinking about. So that was cool. That was like a real cool conversation.
Um, I mean, like what? Like, I need some help for
So
finding
she
a
was
spouse
talking like
myself.
so she was talking more so from like a spiritual angle of like, she was like, you're young and stuff, so you're thinking superficially with like looks and what they got going on superficially, but she was like, you should be thinking more spiritually, and just like who's a person that like, don't be just be thinking. She's like, don't just think about sex. Think about like who can I have fun with, like who can I like travel with, who can I create a bunch of memories of? Who would be like a good mother? You know what I mean? Who
Mhm.
can I like? Who do I really could get along with in that sense? And so I was like, and I think this is stuff I
Yeah.
was like,
Who can you date and their mom still look good? Yeah.
yep,
Yep.
yep, because that means she gonna. I feel you. I see the vision. I see the vision. Yeah. So, yeah. Nah, I was like really like I was really sitting there kind of stuck. Like, oh, this is stuff I hadn't. I think I know of this stuff. I've thought about it, but I don't think it's always at the forefront of my mind when I'm like
Yeah.
dating or talking to people or whoever. I think I'm like thinking very superficial. I think the worst thing about me with dating is I think very superficially in the sense of like sometimes I'm too worried about like what's gonna look good to other people. Does that make
Mm.
sense? Like who's gonna be like who can I pull up to the cookout and my aunt's gonna be like, hey, I see you, nephew. I
Mhm.
see you. You know
I've
that
told
ain't
you
no.
that years ago that that's what you do. And you were
Did you
like
do?
and you were like, "No, I don't think so, not really." And I'm like, "Yes, you do."
Well, okay, I do now. All right, I accept that. All right, I think very like along those lines. Like, all right, I want everybody to be impressed when my girl walk in. But that ain't always the right mentality to be thinking through. It's not the right mentality. I shouldn't even say it's not always. It's not unless you're trying to pull up to the Grammys with somebody. Then you can
Right.
think like that.
"Oh, you wearing that? Oh, no, go change."
uh, but yeah, and so I don't know. I'm trying to break out of that habit, honestly.
That's a hard habit to
Um,
break.
it is. It really is. It really is. And it's like now I'm like so conditioned to think through that lens.
Mhm.
Not just through that lens, but in not even just through that lens, but just in terms of like what I look for, like in terms of dating, because I'm always looking looks first. Like I'm always looking at all right, who's the prettiest, who's like fine, who's really like cold. And I've been blessed enough. I mean, it's worked out. I think I've been blessed enough in some ways that like that hasn't completely burned me because most of the time these women, although they might be attractive, they do often have substance. Because like at the end of the day, I've never been like I don't never date no airheads. I ain't never really been into. I like good women who are intelligent, but I think I often over that the looks tend to weigh out over like the intelligence and the character and the substance of the person versus
Mm.
like how good they look. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I ain't gonna lie. For me, good looks can get you like, girl, you irritating, but dog on it, you know how to wear a dress. But that ain't So I'm trying to break out of that, mature in like that
Yeah.
line of thought.
I
So she was
mean,
kind of like, yeah, go ahead.
that yeah, it just only goes so far. Like,
Yeah.
'cause, like, I hear you saying that, but I still know you, and I know you would just be like, "Okay, alright. I've had enough of you." Just like 'cause I've had that happen, like, in high school, and I'm just like, "You're so pretty, but I hate your laugh." And I know that's not even what you're talking about. This still
No,
is
that's
like
happened though. That has
but
happened to
it's
me.
like it's a thing, like, it's just like,
That's why it's like a never ending thing because it's like no matter how fine the girl is, you're gonna get tired of how she looks, or you're gonna be conditioned to it, I should say.
Mhm,
And then you're gonna see somebody else who looks totally different, but it's fine, and then you're gonna be like, ooh,
right.
comparing and all that. So it's really no end to that
There's not.
at all.
I will say
Yeah.
marriage does not end that either. Like, I still struggle with that. That's why
Yeah.
you saying all these things. I'm just like, yeah, it's really hard to have that
Yeah.
go away. Like, I've actually been thinking of talking to, like, my pastor or even other men and, like, see do they have those struggles.
Mm.
'Cause like, my pastor, it, like, truly seems like it's almost like he's never loved anyone else in his life. Like, it's just like, that is his girl, like, thick and
Yeah.
thin, and I'm just like, "That's so dope." Like, I love seeing
Yeah.
that. Um, but, like, did he struggle with things when he was newly married or just, like, young in his marriage and just being like, "Alright, yeah, my wife fine, but he is too." I wonder
Yeah.
what that mouth do. Like, wait, what? Huh? I didn't think that. Like, what?
Uh, I've heard some young married men tell me that they like. This is in the context of being at like where the church I went to in Columbus. I've heard some men there tell me like they like dated other people too from that church, and so there was a time after they got married, they were still kind of like the what if game in their head sometimes.
Mm,
Like, what if I had got with her? What would this be like? Or
mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's along the same lines of like that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just don't get married. Maybe that's the solution.
I mean, I don't know. It just depends.
Nah.
I'm not one of those people that's just like, yeah, everybody needs to get married. Like, I don't think that that's necessarily true. But
Yeah, you've never been pressed though to get married though.
no. Um, but yeah, like I never talked to y'all about this, but I was like freaking out when like that week of marriage.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or
Oh,
like trying to
oh.
get married. Like I was really good nervous being like that when I had to leave and go get the marriage certificate because I forgot it. I was
Yeah.
just like, should I go back? Like I was really nervous. Just like, do I really like this is what I'm doing the rest of my life? Her?
Yeah.
Can I do better? Just like going
Dang.
through
Yeah.
all kind of stuff and just be like, it's like and it's like somebody told me at OU actually. I think um shoot who was it? Nah, it's not important who it was. But we were talking about relationships or whatever and he was just like, "Yeah, I mean, sure. There's always somebody better. It's always somebody better looking, somebody I might be more compatible with, somebody that blah blah blah." But it's like it's a decision still at the end of the day. And I think like that has always stuck with me. I'm like it's a decision. Like it's not yeah, nobody's gonna have like a perfect relationship or anything or nothing's gonna be just like so flowers and daisies everywhere. But
That's what my
um
aunt was saying too. Is that like she was because that's what I think I was alluding to before. Is like you just made me trigger more stuff. What she's saying. She was talking about the 80-20, which sounds cliche, but she was like really talking like she said that's a real thing. Like most people you meet are gonna only have 80% of what you want.
mm,
And then throughout the whole marriage, that 20%, that's just gonna always be something about the person that bugs you or that bothers you, or
mm,
you gonna be trying to like work on them, or annoys you and all that stuff, and y'all gonna try to work it out. But at the end of the day, like it's the 80% that's really gonna like hold you and that counts and everything like that. And she was also impressed like don't sacrifice the 80 for like this 20 that you might find when you meet somebody else, or somebody else might have that 20% that your wife or husband doesn't have.
mm,
That tends to be what people will end up sacrificing their marriage for, is like, oh, this person is doing this that my wife doesn't do, or whatever the case, or she's more nice, or whatever the case, she treats me better in this area or whatever. So yeah, I was like, that's real, yeah.
mm. I've actually never heard that. You said it's cliche, but I've never even heard that. But yes, I
Oh, it
agree
was on a
with that
Tyler
though.
Perry movie. That's why I said it was cliche.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, that's real. Um, and another thing, my friend, my friend Henry, he always say he's like, somebody fall in love. You know what happens when you fall? Somebody get hurt. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, that's true. Like people just want to like be in love and fall in love, but and then they'll like get divorced or break up or whatever and say we fell out of love. I'm like, no, you just gave up. Like you didn't you don't just fall
Yeah.
in and out of love. It's not all feelings all the time. Like that stuff fades. It always will.
Yeah.
And gravity wins whenever. That's for everybody who's trying to get they busted babies. Gravity wins. Remember that.
Okay. All right. Moving
This
on.
one goes out to
Transitioning.
all my bussy baby. It's your boy Blaz, baby.
Flies and Neo. Oh man.
What happened in
Yeah.
Neo?
I don't know. He just fell off the map too, because he had a run. Like he had a real run. A real run, man. Mm.
So I had a phase. I hate talking about like video ideas because I feel like I'm always talking about them, but nobody ever sees them because I don't always make the stuff. But
Mm.
I had a phase where I was making all these parody videos, and like after probably like 3 or 4, I realized, why am I only choosing Neo songs to make parodies to? Like every song was a Neo song. Like, is that just an easy melody to just mimic?
Uh, that's hilarious. Maybe you just like his discography.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really listen to the dude. I don't know, but maybe I
Uh,
do in secret.
in secret. It's on your Spotify Wrapped. Neo. It's number one. Oh man.
Um, I think that's good a time as any now. Bid you
to
adieu.
wrap to wrap things up. This was a good episode. This was a nice little, like,
Mhm.
reprieve.
Are you gonna say that every episode?
Everyone, yeah. It was everyone. It's gonna be my way of wrapping things up. Then I'm gonna end with a song.
I know. I was expecting you to keep doing that. You only did it once.
The songs?
Yeah.
No, I thought I did it last week.
I don't know.
Or the week before, whenever we last
I
recorded.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you would ever
When's this coming
edit, if
out?
you would ever edit this stuff,
You want me to edit? You can send me this
asking me
stuff. I'll edit
asking me
it.
questions.
Want me to edit it? Just send it to me. I might have more time than you now.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. I'm just a bum. I just haven't been doing it. No, I still have plenty of time. I just need to actually do it. I've been working through some of that stuff, and um I think me starting this job has like thrown me off because I was
Mm.
starting to get a rhythm before I started working, and then it threw everything off, and I never like
Well,
redeveloped my rhythm.
then
And
quit.
huh?
Well, then quit. Make this your job.
Um, I don't think that's gonna work well with Tasha.
Okay. Okay.
She
Tell her this
already
is a lucrative industry, baby. We at the forefront. This is
it
like the beginning of
is
the internet.
it is, but um, it ain't paying nothing yet.
This like the
So
hip hop era, but right, like we at the starting Def Jam right now. Like it might not be nothing, look like nothing now. We in the basement, we smell bad, but give us a year or two
now my
and watch.
channel is actually doing decent right now. Like it's been growing, and I haven't even been like posting stuff for real. Like I got a couple older videos that people have been watching a lot. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like one video. It's not
We gotta
much.
get on TikTok, by the way. Speaking of that, we
Yo,
gotta.
I keep meaning to post stuff to TikTok. Like I got a lot of stuff that I could post in like our clips and stuff. Cause I told you that
Mm.
one clip that I post that they flagged for whatever reason. Um, it had like 13 likes on it. And I'm just like, how did this many people see it? Like I didn't have
That
any
quick, yeah,
special tags or nothing. It was just like
yeah, yeah. They sometimes they say the TikTok algorithm don't like black people though, but
I,
still though, we
I've
can maybe break through.
and I've heard that. That's why I didn't do anything on TikTok before. But
Yeah,
now I'm like, it just don't even make business sense to not be on TikTok at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, and Tasha knows a lot of people like that she follows, people that I follow that on YouTube that had a YouTube channel, and then they started posting stuff on TikTok, and then their YouTube channel blew up because they got so much traction from TikTok.
Yeah. We at the forefront, baby. It's early, baby. We run DMC.
Okay. I
In
don't
20
I
years,
don't
we're gonna
know.
be coming back rapping. Hey, yeah. Back in our day, 2022.
You gonna have a show with your
Yeah.
kids.
V Bear's house. Oh man, that's silly.
Your
That's
kids
silly.
gonna rap, but they gonna be trash.
I'm gonna tell them they trash too.
No offense to JoJo and Diggy, but
Dickie was good though. Dickie can rap.
yeah, I don't
Dickie's
know.
better than JoJo was trash. I ain't gonna hold you, but
Joe, that was
Dickie's
the
was
dark
dope.
skinned dude, right? The taller one.
Yeah. No, he's a kind of short.
Was he short?
Yeah, or JoJo was shorter. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess I was saying short or taller because I think he was the oldest. Was
Oh,
he
he
the
was taller than
oldest?
them. Yeah, he was the
Okay,
oldest. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
that's
was
all
thinking
I
of him right
meant.
now. I was like, no, Diggy taller than him now, I think.
Oh, is he? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah. Um,
I just know he acting now.
word.
He's on what's that show? Grown.
Grownish.
Yeah,
Yeah, word.
I don't watch it. My wife watches it. Everybody.
I'm gonna get a role too soon off this podcast. I'm gonna get a TV role.
Yo, all right, okay. This is the last thing for real before we go. What is your what is your ultimate dream? Because I know you have ideas of where your life would land after you're the things that you're doing right now, and then just like a progression of where this would take you. So where do you see yourself ending up in this
Trapping.
current step?
Trapping.
Okay. All right. And that's it, everybody. Thanks for
Nah.
watching.
I just wanna do like cool creatives. I wanna be one of those random people just like, oh, he was on this. I wanna have a couple like dope like TV or movie roles, like for real.
Mm,
Um, I wanna like I wanna produce some stuff musically, like even if it's just on the on the side. Like I did. Oh, he was on this. He produced this song on this album, just random, like random, real. Like, oh, I didn't know he made music. I'm not trying to music is like a passion, but I'm not trying to be famous for it. I just want to do it and be dope at it, and like people
mm.
be like, oh, he produced such and such. I didn't know he even made music and type of thing. So like a Donald Glover, but like more low key, like you know what I mean? Like just like
Can you be
kind of.
more low key than Donald Glover?
I guess he's like. I
He's so
mean, I'm
low
thinking
key.
I'm saying like
Just
fame
like
wise.
everybody knows
Yeah,
him now.
yeah. I guess that's what I'm thinking of. It's like everybody knows who he. I don't necessarily care if people know who I am. I just want to be a part of cool stuff, like comedic
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah. So that's like ultimate. That's like my dream. I need to get on this and do actually have the courage to step out and do it. But I be playing it safe lately,
I
especially the past
know.
few. Once I found this job and I liked it, I was like, I just been safe, and I don't even like it. I'm kind of going crazy doing it, but
Once I
it's
found this
safe.
job and I liked it, I've been playing it safe, but I don't even like it.
No, I mean I liked it enough to do it. I should say liked it enough to work it and be like, all right, I don't want to quit after 4 months. But
Yeah. Nah, that's what I told my therapist actually. It was one thing I'm nervous about with this Costco role is talking to people and they talk about how when they started, I never expected to be here for 20 years, but it's such a great place and I don't want to
yeah,
be that. I don't want that to be my
same,
story. And
same.
um I was telling them that I don't want to just get complacent. Not that I necessarily see myself becoming that, because normally I just get uncomfortable with the same things over and over, and I have to just
Yeah,
do something. And yeah, he was just like, it's not complacency, but they're just content. That's what he used. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But I don't want to be so content in that I don't then pursue the things that I've been talking about for the past years.
Yeah.
Um, and like what you were saying, like I have been in this like field and doing it, but I'm still not really doing it, and that's what like has been the hardest part, and the hardest challenge for me over the past
Yeah.
year and a half is like I've had all this time and I feel like I've squandered a lot of it because I've been trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with me.
I mean, but that's probably. I feel like once you get to the bottom of that, you'll like, it'll like accelerate you. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm still in
Yeah.
that place. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Um, but cause I don't know. I always feel anxious. It's weird. There's certain things I can't watch or do now, or not watch. I'll say watch or see other people do. And it's not that I don't like it or can't support them. It's just it makes me think of like what I'm not doing. Like
Mhm.
comedy is one of those things. I don't like watching comedy right now. Like
Mm.
even I just went to a comedy show actually though while I was in Cincinnati,
Mhm.
and cause one of my homies I met when I was doing comedy in Cleveland, um, he was like, yo, I'm gonna be I was like, yo, I'm gonna be in Cincinnati actually. Like he was like, oh, pull up, I'll get you a complimentary ticket. Shout out to John Bruton, by the way, friend of the show. But he was open. You heard of Ali Sadiq?
Mhm.
He was
Yeah.
featuring for him. So Ali
Mm.
Sadiq is like a master storyteller, like just a master class of comedy, like for real. Like I was sitting there like, whoa, this is like this is it. This is like yeah. But it also made me think like, dang, I ain't going hard enough. I ain't doing comedy enough. I'm not like in it like I should be doing it. And somebody else just asked me that too recently. It was like, you still doing stand up? I was like, nah, I've been blaming it on the pandemic. I'm like, that messed my momentum up. But I wasn't doing it before the pandemic and I wasn't.
You uh, yeah, that nursing home show threw you off.
It did actually, low key.
No, I'm serious. You told me that.
It did. It shook my core up. It was yeah, it did. It like really messed me up, and it shouldn't have. Because even at the time, I was trying to brush it off, like oh whatever. But it really was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Um, but yeah, that I'm gonna tell that story another
You
episode.
should.
But yeah, um, I did. What's funny, I was doing comedy in Philly though. Actually, when I was in Philly for that month, because it was
Mm.
just easy to. It was a lot of shows around me I could walk to, so I was doing it a lot there. I was doing well too for somebody who hadn't done comedy in so long. Well enough that I was like, man, maybe I should just move to Philly. I'm in the scene already. People know me now. I'm getting my name out. I was like doing really well. But then I just like came back and then right back to my routine here in Nashville. But yeah, but I also know that I don't like I was just telling somebody I don't want to do comedy every day. Like I don't necessarily want to be like a touring comedian. I just like having a skill set of being able to. I wouldn't mind doing some specials or doing shows, but I don't want to do this like weekend in and weekend out, like because you're ultimately saying the same thing every weekend. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Because most guys have a set and they have their jokes and they kind of tell them. Some are
Yeah.
really good where they don't have to. They've mastered to the extent where they can get up and kind of do whatever. But that's its own thing too. But I know I want to have like this ability to get on stage and make people. I just want to have that skill set or those skills of being able to get on stage and tell a joke and it hits and people like and be funny on stage and all that stuff. I like that more. I think I want that more than I think I want to be like known as some great stand-up comedian or just professional comedian. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that is like Donald Glover. He just I don't know. I mean, he's like a role model of mine too, where he just does whatever. Like he does whatever he feels is necessary or desirable at that
yeah,
time for him. So like he's got a stand-up special. He don't really do stand-up. He got like albums. He was doing mixtapes. Um I honestly miss the rapping Childish Gambino because he was, I think, better as a rapper than he is as a singer.
mm,
But his music is still great. Like,
yeah.
still, what's that last album? Awaken My Love? Something.
Oh, he had one after that one though that I like. The one that was
Yeah.
like he just put out. It wasn't like
Oh,
I
yeah. It's
remember.
just like the white. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, they're great.
yeah,
But I think that's not important. But he's like, he does like writing on shows like on Community. He was like one of the main writers on Community. He was a writer on 30 Rock.
Like
Why?
I know I can write stuff too, cause me and Ruck writes films, and me and him have written and worked on stuff, and I know I have the mind to like work on shows and like
Mm,
just think of what's funny or think of
mhm.
situations and scenarios and be like, yo, what if he did this, or oh, he should do this because this makes sense, or this. I have that mentality. It's one of those things too, though. I feel like there's no like path for it though. Does that make sense? That's always been my struggle. It's like it doesn't seem like there's like a clear path for what I want to do. Like it doesn't seem like it's something that I can just call
Yeah,
a
you don't just
company
like
and be like,
stumble into that.
yeah, it's a good call a company, but hey, y'all hiring for this? Cause I
Right.
get. Let me like it ain't like that. And
Yeah.
so I think that's always been like the
That's
the
what
drawback.
that was
Yeah,
gonna be my question of like how would you branch into that?
yeah.
I feel like I think for us, because I don't think either one of us are really interested in school,
Mm-mm.
but in many ways, like that's how people get into those fields is like through school or some society that they were a part of in school, and then they
Yeah,
like
there's definitely
know
an
people.
education. It's a level of education needed. It don't get
Um,
maybe not formal, but you know,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, cause I mean, I've thought about some of that stuff too. Like, I've been watching a lot of, like, primetime TV dramas, and I'm just like, "These are awful." Like, they're so bad.
Oh man, movies and well, TV's good. Most TV, there's a lot of good TV, but movies in general are bad though. I don't like. I haven't seen a good movie in a while. Like it's all remakes. It's everything's a
It
remake,
is.
and I feel like there's so many original ideas out. Like I got a movie me and Antoine like are working out an idea for a movie that I think is dope. That's just never been done. It's like this would be dope. This is a dope concept. Even the timing of it right now would be perfect. It'd be a perfect like
Mhm.
story to tell in this times we're in right now. But like that's type of stuff. Original stories aren't really being told now. It's just all remakes, or if it is a original, it's real heavy handed. Like when anything that's made by a black creator right now is real heavy handed with like race or like
Yeah.
feeling. You know, it's like yo, everything don't gotta be a political message. It's cool if
Right.
it is, if that's yo, but it don't always gotta be this like wink wink or me trying to tell white people how or think about. It's like I don't, let's just have black
Yeah.
people existing or a story about just them doing whatever. And so
Like,
that's why I like Insecure so much. But yeah,
it's like what
yeah,
Kev, he always talk about. He wants to just, like, have black people just making stuff that's just they're just existing, like a black
yeah.
super bad.
Yeah,
Or
right.
or I don't remember his other examples, but I'm just like, yeah, like, I'm down with that too, and I think that's kinda where I'm thinking, like, I've been thinking through these ideas of, like, novels, of, like not saying I would actually do it, I don't really wanna write a novel per se, but I've been thinking of, like, some, like, sci-fi type stuff, and I don't even really watch sci-fi like that, but I'm just like, I just feel like we need some black people that does stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Like,
You got me thinking. I'm like, maybe I should move to Atlanta. I keep thinking about it. I'd be like, maybe I do need to do it. I'd be like, ugh, it's
but
Atlanta
yeah, I don't know. I
though.
just
It's
think
the hub.
it would be
It's the
cool.
hub. Yeah.
Um, I don't know, cause I honestly I don't know where things could end up for me. I just know. I just feel like I need to be pursuing this more, just like you said.
Same. Yeah, I gotta go harder. Way harder. If I'm serious
Especially
about it, if I want to do it. If I don't, then I need to stop telling myself I want to do
right.
it.
Um, and yeah, like now, like I feel like Tasha's trying to put my back against a wall, and I don't think she's intentionally doing it, or maybe she is. She is smarter than she looks. That sounds terrible.
That do sound
I'm
terrible.
gonna cut
I'm
that
like,
part out.
I'm like, oh.
Nah, I low key said that because I thought you were gonna say something about her getting a GED or something.
Oh
Um,
no, I wasn't. I
okay.
had a joke about your back against the wall, but I wasn't. Yeah.
um, nah, cause she talking about like you should like, are you sure you want to give up on your engineering degree? Like, you want to find another job where you can be utilizing that and like making more money. She's like, you're gonna have to work a lot. in order to make like ends meet when she quits her job and all this other stuff. And I'm like, there's a part of me that my first response just wants to choke her out for even suggesting something like that. But then there's another part that I'm just like,
Yikes.
um, I don't know. And I think the other part is like, all right, I really need to start grinding on this. But I have realized that I'm not a hustler, like at
Mm,
all. Like the people that really make it, they're just hustlers. And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not really that. Like I haven't had a life that like I needed to be that. And now I
yeah,
need to be that. And it's really hard to just turn that on.
yeah. That's real. That's real. I've had points in my life where I had to hustle, but it was never. It was just hustling for survival. It wasn't like hustling towards some aim, I guess.
Yeah.
I was kind of hustling when I was in Cleveland though. When I first started doing comedy, I was really like getting after that. I was really hustling with that.
Mm,
I was going pretty hard with that. But then it also was like it was a tough time because I was like I'm broke too though. I'm hustling but I'm
mm,
broke. Like this is tough. Like and a part of me doesn't want to go back to that or that level of uncomfortability. Like I don't. I'm trying. I think in my mind I'm like, is there a way for me to pursue this without like going broke or like being
mm-hmm.
like almost like check to check or we? I don't like living like that. Used to live like that. I don't want to live like that no more. I don't live like that now, and I don't want
Yeah.
to ever go back to that. And so that's like the tough part for me is like making the sacrifice, which I feel like you have to. You have to make some type of sacrifice. But I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that now. Like I'm really comfortable where like my life, what I'm able to do and do like all that type of stuff. But also know like I'm gonna be very dissatisfied down the line with where my like this life eventually. Like I know that too. So it's like I was about to cuss, but ish or get off the pot, you know.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, it's that's what I've been thinking about this week is that stuff. Um, because that's basically where Tasha's at. She's just like she knows what it's like to have struggled growing up, especially financially and like her not being able to do certain sports and stuff because they just didn't have money to pay for things or she couldn't get to go places. And she's like, yeah, but I want my kids to be able to do these things. And I'm like, all right, first of all, we don't even have kids yet. And second, like there's gonna be like a good decade before they're getting into stuff like that where it's getting expensive. And I'm just like, I'm not really worried about what's happening 10 years from now. Just I feel like I have to not think about some of that stuff or I'll be super anxious. Um and anxiety has been plagued a big part in this past year of just like I need to have everything so perfect and right or else it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And I've seen from YouTube the stuff that I don't like necessarily is like the stuff that's doing well. Like my most viewed video right now that's providing me all the growth on the channel is a video that I sat on for almost a year and was just like, I'm not gonna post this. Like this is trash. And it's like the most successful video by far. Like I've almost got like 2,000 views on it. And I don't know who these people are that are subscribing and leaving comments and stuff, but I'm just like, this is dope. Like it's like
Yeah.
I'm seeing fruit happen, and all I got
The
to
day
do
you
is
plant
just
the tree is not the day you eat it of its fruit.
okay, mustard seed. Um, I just figure we just saying random stuff. Um, so yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I haven't actually really had to like struggle for real and like think about where my like how I pay for things and stuff like that. A little bit when I quit my first job, I did have a little phase, but then I got a job right away after that. So I don't know. It's just a lot. I got a lot to think about, but We'll figure it out.
I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I'm dreaming of nothing love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. Whew. I believe I can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. That's all. All right.
No, you didn't. Just bring R. Kelly into my podcast.
It's the song and the lyrics that I want people to focus on.
That ain't what they focusing on. They focusing on those young black women that you obviously don't care about.
I care so much about them.
Valerian Riddle doesn't care for black women.
That's not true.
That's gonna be the title of this episode now.
That's not true.
He told me to take my bob off because I'm trying to stand in solidarity with black women. Now I get it.
I told you
now
to keep it on.
Now I get it. Now I get it. Mr. Robert Kelly.
I told you to do the opposite of that. I told you to leave it on in solidarity with black women and against Monique.
You got trying to be against black women. That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. All she wanted to do was call us kings and queens, and now you want to say, "Get out of here, Monique."
No,
big black woman. I hate you. Said Valerian Riddle.
I didn't say none of this. I love you, Monique. Netflix should have paid you what you wanted. If it was up to me, you would have got all that money, Monique.
Next week he gonna sing Michael Jackson.
He innocent.
And then
Mike is in it.
And then he gonna do the Bill Cosby theme songs. I'm disgusted in you.
I don't like you at all. I'm getting off here. That's it. I'll see you next week, guys.
Okay,
I'm off.
Bye.